The Sports Town Podcast. The Sports Town Podcast.
And real quick before we forget about this, and this is kind of already old news, but where do you think, or what did you think about the whole Aaron Rodgers situation?
So I originally thought that Aaron Rodgers was always going to come back to the Packers, but I thought he was going to negotiate an opt-out for a way that he'll come back this year, but he would be able to find a way to opt out and, find a way to go to his next team next year, however he wanted to. And it looks like the Packers are trying to say, hey, come back. And if you still want to leave after this year, we'll figure something out. We'll get you traded, which the way it was reported by Shefty and everyone, it seems like the Packers are just hoping that everything gets fixed. And I still don't think that's going to happen. I think after next season's over, regardless, Packers could win the Super Bowl. I think Aaron Rodgers still wants out. I think too much damage has been done. Rodgers knew that he couldn't not play for them this year, but he knew he could make a lot of noise, and that's what he did. And I do think that he won't be playing for them the year after. I'm hoping he doesn't play for them the year after. But I do think he'll be on his way out. Where is he going to go now? I'm not sure. It looks like Denver is still primed to have a position for him primed to have him. Looks like Vegas might be primed to get him. Even a team like the Vikings, which would be extremely ironic if somehow Aaron Rodgers goes to the Vikings and finishes his career. But a team like the Vikings looks like they can, because I think they adjusted Kirk Cousins' contract. So I think they could even find a way to get out of that Kirk Cousins horrible contract and try to acquire Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if the Packers would trade him with the division, but it seems like the Packers gave him all the assurances that if you want to leave, we will send you wherever you want to go. So, I need Aaron Rodgers to leave the Packers. So that's kind of how I'm just waiting for him to be gone.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a matter of I don't disagree with Nabil in that if the Packers do win or have a lot of success this upcoming season, that Aaron Rodgers is out. I think that's a foregone conclusion that he is done playing for the Packers organization after this season, no matter what. However, I do think they're kind of in a good place in that everybody knows what's going on, right? There's no chatter about this and that, and this report came out before the game and this report came out after the game. We all know going into this season, Aaron Rodgers is unhappy, but when he goes out there to play on the field, you don't have to ask that question after the press conference every single game. You already know the answer is, dude, I'm unhappy. And you go back to my very first press conference of camp. I told you exactly why I'm unhappy. We just beat the Bears 23-17 at Lambeau Field and are in first place in the division. I don't need to talk about why I'm unhappy with this organization. I need to talk about Devontae Adams did a great job today. Aaron Jones did a great job today. Scantling did a great job today. The play calling was good today. So I think by putting all that stuff out there, he can focus on getting the job done. And if we know anything about Aaron Rodgers, that he's probably going to get the job done. I don't know. I don't want to jump too ahead of your segments. I don't know if we're going to talk about this, but my personal opinion, I think the Packers are going to be back in the NFC Championship game this year. And this is the year they finally break through, actually. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to say, you know what? Watch me. Just watch me do it. And whatever happened last year in the NFC Championship game about, we're going to settle for the field goal instead of going for two or going for it. No, dude, that's not happening this year because we saw what happened when we put the ball and the decision in your hands, coach. Let me do what I do and be Aaron Rodgers and do Aaron Rodgers things. Now, his other guys can't drop a wide open 2-point conversion in the end zone, right? That's not on the coaching. That's not on the quarterback. That's on the players on the field. But I think essentially it's all or nothing for Aaron Rodgers this year. And I think they're going to have a whole lot of something at the end of the season.
Yeah, and I think the only way Aaron Rodgers returns to the Packers next year if they make the Super Bowl. And I think it's not like the NFC, I don't think is as deep as the AFC because we all know the AFC is stacked with the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, even the Titans are really good. You got the Browns and Chargers that could be really good wild card teams or even teams that could actually win the division. But I really think the Packers, I think they have a good chance of making the NFC Championship game, but the only way I think Aaron Rodgers returns if they make the Super Bowl. And I mean, really outside the Packers, there's the Buccaneers and Rams that are really their biggest threat, but it's not like the AFC where there's a plethora of teams that are just so good. So I could see the Packers making the AFC Championship game. I just don't know if I can actually see them pulling out in the Super Bowl. And if Aaron Rodgers does get traded, I mean, I feel like he'd be in a worse situation because the Broncos and Raiders, the Broncos are decent, and the Raiders, though, they don't have a whole lot there either. So, I mean, a lot can happen in 1 year, but I just think that Rodgers at the moment is going to have to stay in Green Bay, and I think he eventually will get traded. I just don't know what team next year if they don't make the Super Bowl. Thanks for listening to the Sports Town Podcast, or the STP Pod for short. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and much more. Also, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Sports Town Podcast. If you want to check out more videos of the Sports Town Podcast, click on the right.